So everything that I'm saying right now will all make sense. So please continue to watch and watch till the end. I promise you it'll be worthwhile, okay? Please. What's up guys and how you doing? So I've been putting off this video for months now, and if you're going through depression, just know that it's only temporarily, not permanent. Now I've gone through depression, and I'm in serious depression, and I managed to recover from it. It did take a lot of hard work though to get out of it naturally. So that's the part I want to share with you on how I actually got out of it, and I hope this helps you out, and I hope this video gives you some form of comfort if you're going through this depression right now, to know that you're not alone and know that you can get out of it, that the storm will pass and the sun will rise and it will be so much brighter for you, okay? So today, here's my journey and I hope you enjoy. So I was born in Sydney, Australia, 1988. My dad's Greek, my mum's Filipino, and I remember my dad building this big Greek white house on the hill in Sydney, and it was absolutely magnificent. School was actually fun, so primary school was fun, no responsibilities, Super Nintendo, PlayStation, riding bikes, remote control car in the streets on weekends. It's absolutely amazing. As we were kids in Sydney, my dad realized that Sydney was not a good place to raise children, so my dad sold everything, packed up, and we moved up north to the country. North Queensland, and it was a great experience for me. So my first job was on a potato farm. Also I worked on a macadamia farm as well, and then my first real job was at KFC, and unfortunately I was a cook, so that was brutal. Okay, so I'm living in this small town, right, with a small population. I then got enrolled into my first primary school there. It didn't go well because I wasn't popular, I didn't have a lot of friends. I then made it to high school, and it just got worse from there. Now, I did have a few friends, but we weren't popular. But as it got worse was because there were these bullies there, and they were so racist towards me. There was this one kid, double my size, and he would just be so racist towards me. And I was a small little kid that could not defend himself. Like, I was so tiny and weak and skinny. Like, it didn't make sense why he would pick on me. But it's because, you know, the way I look, I look different. And there was this one time, I never forget this, I was standing in the corner at lunchtime with my girlfriend, and I saw those kids from a couple of meters away, and I was hoping they wouldn't see me. But then the tall, big kid, he was the biggest bully, saw me, and he just started saying racist things towards me. He was just brutal towards me. He absolutely humiliated me. He degraded me, and it was just the worst day of my life. I was so embarrassed in front of my girlfriend, and all I could do was just walk away, just absolutely walk away, because, you know, I couldn't fight him. He was double my size, and I was just so, like, when you're a little kid and this big kid bullies you, you're like shaking because you're so tiny. Now at this point, I'm sick of getting bullied. I have to do something about it. So I asked my dad, can I learn martial arts? And he said yes, and he'd pay for it, because obviously I didn't have a job at the time when I was a kid. And so I learned martial arts for years. I became a black belt, and then I was actually one of the youngest to go for my first degree black belt, which is higher than a black belt. So at that point, I was stronger, fitter, and I was bigger, you know, from all that training that I did. And these bullies didn't know that I was actually, behind the scenes, I was actually training for years on how to fight. And there was this one time in the playground in high school where that big tall guy started to bully me again. He started saying nasty racist comments towards me. And I said, that is it. I want to give him a taste of his own medicine. And that's what I did. I kicked his ass. And then one of his other friends decided to bully me as well, and I kicked his ass as well. So it was good to give him a taste of their own medicine. And I just wanted to teach him, look, just be a good person. That's all you have to be. After dealing with the bullies, then I had to deal with my dad. I don't like telling a lot of people this, but my dad was like really violent, I think, because he was in the military and he went into war in Greece, and that kind of, I think, affected him, and I don't think he got the help that he needed. So he kind of took all his anger and all his rage out on us as kids, and it was so bad to a point, he was so violent and destructive that there were times where we had to call the police for help, and there were many times, and I had to go to court in regards to my dad, you know, how violent he was. And so even though I had to deal with bullies from school, when I came home I had to deal with my dad. But I found that it was really strange that I was never depressed again. So dealing with bullies, I was never depressed. When I came home, my dad was so, you know, so aggressive and violent and abusive, I was also never depressed as well. So it was really strange. I feel like my mind was very strong when I was really young. So I wasn't traumatized. I just dealt with it, and I try to avoid as much as I can. I try to not make him angry. And so that was a difficult thing, living with my dad. So after dealing with my dad for so many years, I was like, nah, I gotta get out of here. And I ventured off on my own to the big city, Brisbane city, where I'm at right now. And I wanted to make something of myself. So I went to university, tried to study psychology for a bit. It didn't work out. And then I ended up working for a bit. And then I ended up getting into real estate, like investing in real estate. And I bought 3 properties. So I was doing so well, but then property and real estate wasn't for me. Now, I've never said this to anyone, but I feel like I was actually traumatized from the situation I had to deal with my dad. And that was for years, like how abusive he was, how violent he was. And I think at the time, I wasn't feeling it then, that sort of depression or anything like that. But when I bought my first house in Brisbane and bought my first little dog and everything was fine, I was living alone in the big city, then that's when things started to happen. Like I'd wake up and I'd be sweating and I'd think like I'm back in that situation with my dad being so abusive. And then I'd have the same thing happen different nights in a row, and it would happen for 2 months. But then I was like, oh my God, this is what you call maybe like post-traumatic disorder, because it was so traumatic, that situation I had to deal with my dad. And I think that's what I had. But I was like, okay, let's not get therapy. Let's not get medication. Let's see if I can deal with that naturally and get out of that, that cycle. And it did. I actually got out of it. I stopped having those bad dreams and those bad traumatic moments in my head, and everything started going normal, which was great. So I felt like as I was just working 9 to 5, working hard, focusing on other things, my mind started to just adjust to it and started forgetting the past. So the past was very violent for me and abusive, but then my mind was focused more on what was happening in front of me, my future. If you've noticed that, yes, I did buy my first dog. So my dream was to get a house, buy my first house, and get my first dog ever. I've never had a dog, so I got it. It was so cute, a little puppy. It was the best day of my entire life. And then I ended up rescuing another dog at the RSPCA. It was a Shar Pei. It was so cute. So I had Zeus and Venus, 2 beautiful dogs, the 2 first dogs I've ever had. It was my dream come true. Sadly, good things do come to an end. I think 13 years later, they sadly both passed. And that's when depression finally arrived in my mind. And it was so bad. So this is the first time getting severe case of depression. And I find depression really weird. And it kind of plays things in your mind that aren't real. And so when I was depressed, I remember I cried a lot. So this was for 2 months. I cried like nearly every day. I was so emotional. I didn't want to get out of bed. I was always so tired. I lost my appetite, so I lost a lot of weight as well. I didn't want to work anymore. And this is the one thing with depression I found, that I had serious cases of depression where it doesn't matter how much money you have, how many friends you have, how much family tell you they love you. If you got depression, that doesn't matter. Like your mind tells you that it starts to be negative with you. Your mind, when you have depression, it tells you like you're alone, you've got no one, you're a loser. And that's the role depression plays, but it's not real. It's just a negative mindset because you're going through something sad that happened and your mind's in a very bad state. Now, after having months of depression, I said, I've had enough. I need to get out of this. It's not healthy to be in this negative mindset. I always knew with depression was, it's not like COVID-19 where depression falls from the sky into your mind and you've been infected with a disease. It was because of my past events that happened, bad events that happened, and then the loss of my 2 beautiful dogs, and that all combined, and that's what made me get depression. So I got sick of it, being in that depressive state. I was like, this is so negative, I gotta get out of it. Now, one thing with me, I like to do things naturally. So when I had depression, I wanted to get out of it. I was like, I don't want to take medication. I don't want to spend thousands of dollars on therapy. I was like, let's do it naturally and let's do a bit of research to investigate what techniques I can use on a daily basis to get out of my severe depression. And I had severe depression, I tell you that. So the first thing I did was be around loved ones, people you trust and know that they're actually there for you and actually are genuine. So that was my mom and my brother. They were like the most closest to me, and they were always there for me. They were always comforting me when I was crying, and I miss my dogs. I love my dogs so much, and I was crying all the time and I was just so down. They were always there for me, and that made it feel so much better. I felt so calm, and every time they were at my house, I felt good. I felt so good. And also because my mum, she cooks great food. The second thing I did was be in nature. So I'd go hikes into the forest and to see beautiful waterfalls and just relax and meditate in the forest. It was just so relaxing. And I found that so rejuvenating, and it really cleared my mind. So every time I'd come home from the forest, I feel calm, relaxed, and I'd be ready to go for the next day, you know what I mean? Now the third thing I do is exercise. It's so important you exercise because it actually sends endorphins in your mind that actually help keep you calm after you do a workout. So I tend to work out like 6 days a week, and every time I exercise, I feel so calm. And I kind of finish it off with some chamomile tea, which keeps me even more calm, and then I fall asleep so well. So don't forget, exercise is so damn important. I know sometimes, look, I'll be honest, I hate exercise. I hate it, but I have to exercise because I feel better, and if I don't, I feel stressed out, and I just don't feel, I feel uneasy, do you know what I mean? So it's something I do, and it just makes my day just so much more better. So don't neglect it, kind of force yourself to do it, and just put in your mind that once I finish this exercise, I'll feel so much more better. And try and finish off the exercise at the end of the night with like a good cup of chamomile tea. So chamomile tea is really calming as well, keeps you relaxed, and especially if you're stressed out as well. Now, number 4, eating healthy. And I tell you, I can't stress it enough. Eating healthy is so important. Like, our bodies aren't designed to eat sugary, high fat foods, high salt foods. Our bodies are designed to eat natural, healthy food, right? So when you eat healthy food, it actually keeps you calm, it keeps you clean, and you look better as well. You look better, your skin looks better, your body looks better as well. When I exercise, so I exercise 6 days a week, and then I eat healthy during those days. The 6 days I eat really healthy, but there's just that one day I kind of spoil myself with a cheat meal, and it doesn't really affect your body because that's just one day having a cheat meal, and that's okay. But you have to have more healthy food in your diet than bad food. So it's like 95% has to be healthy, and just that little 5% is just that little cheat meal. So eating healthy is really good for your mind, and it does keep you calm as well, and it's just part of you getting better. So number 5 is getting busy again. So when I had depression, severe depression, I was like, let's get back into the 9 to 5 grind. Let's get busy again, working and interacting with others. And that helped me dramatically. What it did was, it kind of made me forget about my depression, and then I was focused on my job. So I was so focused on my job, and at the end of the day when I'd come home, I'd feel so calm for some reason. I'd feel really relaxed. And that was something that I was like, wow, okay, this does actually help. So getting busy, if you run a business, get back into it, get busy, socialize, get back into socializing with people, get busy. You have to force yourself, because your brain is so negative at the moment when you're depressed that it doesn't want to do all that, but you have to force yourself. But when you force yourself to get out of it and get busy again, you'll feel better. So always put in your mind, if I do that and get busy again and get back to work again, that at the end I'll feel better, more calm, I can sleep better, and I can continue, get back into that busy routine again, okay? The last and final, number 6, is help the unfortunate, help people in need. And so if you've noticed on my YouTube channel, under the playlist Dem Cares, you'll notice that I actually intentionally went to third world countries like the Philippines and Cambodia, and I just really wanted to help people in need, because I looked at my depression as not that bad compared to people in third world countries, and I have everything here, and I was thinking, like, why am I depressed? And then I see people in third world countries, they have nothing, like they're working their asses off, they get no benefits, and they're not depressed. So I thought, to help others and to help myself as well, is help people that are actually unfortunate, have nothing, and haven't been lucky in life. And I found that what that did to me when I traveled there, I learned a lot. I learned that, you know, people have so little, but they're so happy. They smile so much. They're still so giving, caring. And I gave tens of thousands of my own money. I got no donations from anyone. No one gave me money. It's from my own pocket. And I gave money to so many people to help people in schools and people in general. I gave, you know, surprise money to people on the streets when, you know, you can tell they're working their asses off. And that made me feel so much better. Like, it contributed a lot to my mental health. And I felt like a better person. That giving and helping makes you a better person. It makes your mind more positive as well. You kind of look at life as in a more of a positive perspective, that my life isn't so bad compared to others. And I looked at myself that, yes, I was depressed, but there are people that are worse off. There are people so much worse off. And I found that if you just put that in your mind, that there's so many people out there that are worse off than you, then it will make you feel a lot better. It will make you feel like, okay, I'm actually really lucky. Yes, I'm depressed, but I got to snap out of it and get to the real world as I am a lucky person. Alright guys, so we're at the end of the video now. Thank you so much for watching. They are the 6 steps that I followed in order to get out of my severe depression and into recovery. And I feel so much better. I have a positive mindset now. But you gotta remember, you have to follow these steps religiously. You can't take any breaks. Even to this day, I have no depression, but I still follow those steps. And it just gives me such a positive mindset, a better view at life. I always feel blessed at life. I always feel so happy at life that I don't take this life for granted. And that's why I'm always so busy, because I just want to do everything I can in this one life I have. So this is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found value in this video, and I hope it helps you out in some way. Just remember, love each other, be good to each other, help people in need, and just be a good person. So thank you so much. Until next episode or next video, I love you all. Peace out. See you guys.